Hello people, how's it doing? Today I'm wearing my hat for the first time in a long time. I just like every so often just to take my hat off just because it's agitating my head a lot. And that's the reason why I don't have it on as much as I used to. So today I just want to talk about people who inspired me in history, I suppose you could say. Inspired me to this day, I suppose you could say, in politics. So I'm sure everybody off the bat straight away will know who I really inspire, who is my main inspiration in history, who's the person who's the greatest person in Irish history, greatest person in world history. That's Michael Collins. I'm sure everybody knows that for a fact. But there is somewhere that some people don't know. Some people do know. But it's in America. It was during the Civil War in America, and before the Civil War in America, this other person, probably other people, loads of people probably heard of, Abraham Lincoln. And before anybody says anything, I know what people are probably going to say, especially people who don't know me that well. But the reason why I kind of connect with Abraham Lincoln, and I might as well say it, is because he was an emotional person. He was an emotional person. He was very prone to upset, I suppose you could say. He basically lived a miserable life. That's more or less what I'm trying to say. And I can connect with the heartbreak. It's hard to explain, but he was depressed most of his life, and he was, that's where I connect with him, because I connect where he's come from, and you can. That's why I connect with him. I know I'm not making much sense, but in that kind of way, I connected with him. That's why. I kind of learned a lot from looking at his history, and how he was able to bend people to his will, I suppose you could say. He could negotiate. He was a good negotiator and the rest of that. This is outside Ireland. No people are saying this is outrageous. They're just saying that the people outside Ireland. But it is true. I might as well say the truth. So I was inspired by Abraham Lincoln too. But the reason being because I could connect to him. I could connect with all the pain and suffering he experienced, and I learned a lot, I suppose you could say, from his quotes and from his. I'm sure people get what I'm saying. I can connect because he was a very emotional, upsettable person. The same as me, I'm very emotional. I'm very prone to be upset very often. So I do connect with him. I can only connect with that, but then it's hard to balance politics and your behaviour, my kind of depression and everything. It's hard to balance everything. To your will, I suppose you could say. But just wanted to say that, I suppose, because people often ask me who is my inspiration outside of Ireland, and I usually just don't really add to it that much. And I felt today just say it, because probably some people will probably say you don't care about outside Ireland, you just don't look at any other history, but I do look at other history. Anyway, just wanted to say that. Anyway, thank you for watching, subscribe for more, and bye.